Hey guys, and welcome back to Family Traveling Adventures. My name is Celeste, and this is the missing in action husband of
I
mine.
got kicked out, y'all. That's the real reason.
I should have kicked you out.
Oh well. It happens sometimes. No. My name is Marcus. How you guys doing?
And we are back for another video. We want to tell you how you can not allow having a big family to keep you from traveling more. So stay tuned. Okay, guys. So we put together some tips that will help you travel more with your family because we realize that there are a lot of people who want to travel more if they could. And just by having more children,
Keep going.
more of those means that your cost is going to be higher. So we are going to be doing some series of videos that'll come out on Sundays based on what you can do as a large family to save money on your vacation so you can travel more. We are going to focus on time. We basically want to talk about when is the best time to travel for large families.
Well, by far, best time is always traveling out of season.
Right.
So,
Non-peak time.
when the kids in school, nobody's out, that's the best time to travel because they know most families, when they set aside traveling, it's going to be around holidays, holiday times, summer times. So that's when it's technically the best time to travel when you have a large family. But with proper planning, you can even travel during peak times. You're not going to get as good as rates as you could get if you're traveling in the off season. But if you plan for just say a year in advance, which is typically what we found, you can get some great rates.
Mm-hmm. And to add on to what my husband said, you like how that sounds?
Oh, I mean the one you kicked out the house? Nah, yeah, I hadn't been kicked out. I just work a lot.
But anyway, to add on to what he was saying about planning a year in advance, what's really great about planning at least a year in advance is companies have sales year long. And when those sales occur, if you're already booked, you can just convert over to whatever that deal is. We did that with a cruise before, and I've done it with hotels. So essentially, I was already booked on a cruise, and they came out with some great deal, and I called, and I actually ended up upgrading for like $100 more. So you can use that to your advantage. I've done it with hotels, and I just keep a watch on it, and then when they have that big sale or something, I just call and say, hey, you're doing this sale. I'm already booked. Can you convert me over to that sale? And they'll just make sure that, the room that you're trying to convert over to is available, and they'll honor the sale. So planning in advance allows you to do that. It also allows you to save money so that you can, take advantage of some of those bigger trips that you want to do. Okay, and so to go back to what Marcus said again about traveling during non-peak times, I wanted to also add on to that to say that I know that we have kids, and the reason why we travel during peak times is because they're out of school. If you can, depending on your child's school attendance in their school district, traveling during combining like a holiday with some school days, or even combining a weekend with school days for non-peak times. Now, a holiday, of course, is going to be a partial, peak time.
And also, you can just manage your time and just pull them out of school. Like, they don't want to go
I was trying
nowhere.
not to tell them that, but
Yeah, we've done that.
we've done that before, especially when we knew that she didn't have anything major going on.
Yeah.
We would combine it with like a weekend and just pull her out of school because she attended school otherwise. It wasn't like,
Yeah. If you got a child that's always missing school, you can't do
that ain't
that.
what you want to do.
But if she's pretty much there or they are pretty much there all the time, just pull a week out for a family vacation. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
That's
And you
really
can talk to
well
your school. Like we've talked to the school and let them know they sent work with her, gave us
that
early
she didn't
work.
do.
We're not going to tell them that either.
Oh, okay, okay. So what you can do, if you pull your kids out of school, you can plan. If you plan in advance, you can get with the teachers, and they will give them their homework assignments and things like that, so that they can stay caught up with the classroom. So that's one way of doing it.
Another tip for those of you who have large families is to. I forgot it that quick. Oh, you have a big group, but make a bigger group. So the
Right.
problem with large families is that we usually have parents and then a bunch of children. If you combine your group with another family or another two families, then you have a larger group. So essentially, you're spreading the cost among other adults, and you can your money will go further. You can also get more discounts because the larger your group is, especially for things like tickets and things, you can get group deals. So consider going with other families where you can rent a house or an Airbnb or something like that, and you can share costs, but you can also have more discounts because more people. One thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is the last thing we're going to talk about, is when you are traveling and you're planning ahead and you're going through non-peak seasons, always make sure that you are checking that area out to find out what the weather is like during that time of year.
Yeah.
Because there are certain times when vacations are cheaper, like on cruises, but a lot of times it's because it's during hurricane season.
Right.
And we take advantage of a hurricane season because he looking at me like, girl, shut up. You just went into something else. We kind of do because
I'm going like, when do we do that?
because our anniversary is at the very beginning of August. But what we found is that we've never had to cancel a trip at the very beginning of August. Now that
Oh
second,
yeah,
third,
by
and
the
fourth
third, fourth
week,
week.
that's when we don't do it. But because it's so close to active hurricane time, then we find that, trips are cheaper during that time as well because it's so close, people don't want to chance it. But for us, it's still in a safety zone. So you need to know those things. You need to know, is it the rainy season? Like if you're going to do outdoor activity, can you even enjoy it because it's rained so much during that time?
Right.
Also, the beach. What does the beach look like? If you're going to enjoy the beach, there are some beaches that have high seaweed time, like where the seaweed comes onto the beach and
Yeah.
all of that. So you need to know, is it cheap during that time because of those things? And what I would
Or like when we
recommend,
went to Colorado, it wasn't as
oh
much snow.
yeah.
We did it the week before Christmas, so everything was
Hmm.
much cheaper, but you didn't have all the snow that
Right.
you get the week of Christmas. Yeah.
Right. So know why you're going and check the weather out. Go watch people's vlogs during that time. Look at pictures during that time. Call and ask and say, hey, what does it typically look like during this time? You can even Google and say, what is the weather like in June in San Diego, and go back and look at those things, investigate for yourself.
So I think the theme of it is just planning.
Planning, yeah. Plan early.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is it for this vlog. The next one we're gonna do is going to stay in the tips for large families. So join us next Sunday and we will have more tips for planning and saving money for traveling for large families. All right. Oh, and if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know when we post.
Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all.